It's good. You rocking with your boy Czar, all rights reserved. On this winter wonderland type of a day, I show you CommenterNation stand up. Stand up, CommenterNation. You know how we rock. Now let's get into it. This is a public apology to the alleged hacker of the TheCzarr channel. After doing some digging, reasoning, and checking, I do realize you did rock with Commenter Universe, CommenterNation. That was my apology to you. Public apology I give you. That's the respect I put on it. So thank you for that. And we rock with you. And that wasn't the nature of what my discussion was going to be. I was actually going to bring it to another subject. I just wanted to get that out there. So the person that did hack was indeed part of CommenterNation, but I do not know exactly who it is. I just know that I lost track of them a certain way into my investigation. So I don't know exactly who it is, but shout to you. Respects to that. And I thank you for rocking with the channel. That is not needed. We're not trying to do that. Everybody go out and support that members only volume 4 part 4. I know that you're like, what? Like, I did tell you to go check their tour out, but go support the music. What I did this one to say is that I looked back on something DJ Academics was talking about. Now, this was June 23rd, a receipt of DJ Academics where he spoke on the TzarR situation. You know how he does his images. They keep dancing. If there's a scene where someone was dancing or doing something, you see it happening over and over, and he's going and speaking. I did it, and he has some very relevant points. So if you get a chance, go back and check that June 23rd, 2018 video DJ Academics made talking about the TzarR situation. And it really made me think, what were all the moving parts around TzarR before this situation happened? Was he in danger from the start? Now, a lot of people say he predicted it, but let's think back on it. When we think of other artists, when they've been in danger in some sort of way, as many people understood, for Tupac and Biggie's situation, they were receiving threats. Now, why do I bring this up? Because we don't know the nature of where the threats were coming from. That's the issue. That's the problem. Was he getting threats from investigator level individuals? Is that why he acted as he did before the weeks coming up to where he was bombarded this way? We got to sincerely think about this. We got to think about it very critically in a very in-depth way, because if we analyze this, it puts very much so power into the fact that we understand when artistry, or anyone for that matter of fact, ends up in the situations as they have, that there's indicators. Could he not prevent these indicators? That's part of what we need to understand. What were the indications, and where were they given clearly, without any argument, that this is a potential situation that can happen? This is very important, because this is going to begin to thrive and build our understanding as to all the action going on around the situation. Now, I rewatched a lot of video. I rewatched a lot of him expressing his opinion. I even rewatched the people that were alleged in the beginning. Do I believe they were involved after rewatching? It is a strong I don't know to a weaker version of I don't think so. And that's probably why they move forward with their investigation. It is because when someone expressed themselves a certain way, so when I seen these individuals who were accused at first through social media, even though they said what they said, the way they said that they didn't do it and stuff, I did sincerely believe them. I watched several videos of him saying he had nothing to do with it, and either he's a very good liar or he really didn't have nothing to do with it. Now, why is that important? Because it leads me to think that the mastermind may be of a higher caliber than we once presumed. And what I'm saying that is saying that even though we did not hear superstars accused speak, it does show implications of other people who have been known to have people ride up on different industry related entities. So other individuals had their crew ride up on industry, But here's the thing, and I agree with someone else. It seems someone gathered everyone who had some type of link and some level of maliciousness, except I can't pin two of them. Now, out of the two that I can't pin, one of them seems like it could have been a female related hatred. It could have been because of one of the females. That is a strong, powerful gesture for me to understand and get, because I'm beginning to comprehend. The more I go back over it, the more clarity I gain in the situation. That's with all things that have happened. Even the series itself, when I look over it, it's really built up an understanding for me that I'm seeing the long haul of it. Now, remember, I've done this series over many episodes, but in each episode, as myself, I was in a different season of life, going through different things. If I presume he's human and went through the same steps and type of things as I have in life, as you have in life, it really does open up the mind to perceive that if someone was sending sincere threats, it would have diverted, built, transmuted, just the integrity of what is going on around me. So if I knew I was getting threats, but I couldn't pinpoint exactly who it was and for why, but I assumed why, it would be easy to point out the people around that we're pointing at now. But what if there was an outlier? What if it was a connection to someone that was making money with someone else that felt it was a danger for him to speak up or speak out or make music how he was, to produce a certain feel amongst the many fans he called loyal? And some of you have even quoted as saying he thought was a cult following. This would mean his very image and things would be a productive way to influence and kind of move the generation. What if he wanted to move him to the beat of his drum and not someone else's? This would be a strong indicator that a different entity than the ones we were thinking of were involved at hand in moving forward with these plans that have now put these suspects' future in jeopardy. This is a very common thread. Now remember, the one that looks like the one that's most guilty could always be a scapegoat for someone else who really didn't have such a strong connection but had business motivation in this occurrence altogether. This is why we're seeing little incidents happen, like suspensions and just different things that aren't always made public. Because if an investigation through expertise is showing other motives, it would easily produce a situation, just like the distractions I've dealt with, just like the different people I've dealt with that have become a strong distraction and a strong indicator of their self motives being acted upon in some way, shape, form, or another. We have to understand that these motives all create the basis and foundation for an alternative mentality that we have not yet grasped. And that's my thing. Did he realize he was endangered because of the production and motivation of someone else that was on the outside? These are all factors that help to build a full throttle, full circle plan that would allege to someone saying that they were not involved a certain way. Now, do we have this down pat? I cannot say we do. But do I have other indication of these things? Absolutely. And that is why we now more than ever must focus in on the points and factors that very much do not seem to be the relevant view. Now, am I saying that witnesses, affiliates, and stuff 100% aren't involved? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that if we presume one of these suspects were affiliates, the question would be, who knew he was showing up at the store? That's the first key indicator. Number 2 is who knew about these men's motives. Number 3 would be what was to gain for these individuals that were involved, regardless of the situation. But go out, keep your eyes open for Members Only Part 4, and support the people that were making music around him, as we knew And we heard him say that's what he would like to see. No matter what, he'd like to see the growth of the different people that he actually was involved in business wise. He was involved in this music game, and he had some type of influence and inspiration with. The same way I deal with distractions around me, he had to deal with distractions around him. The same way I deal with different factors, he did as well. So to not understand that, I would be wrong for that. But I do understand that his team meant a lot to him. So as they progress in their careers, support it. And you know how I rock. Always rock. Commenters, stand up. All rights reserved.